our channel. We have a really exciting farm tour to do today. I'm here with Nick at his market farm, and he's going to show us what he grows, and we're going to talk all about soil types and how he gets his food out into the hands of other people. So we'll just get right into it. So Nick, can you kind of give me some background on like how you got into this and what you grow and just kind of an overview of what you do?
Yeah, I was working on the road, so I was trying to figure out a way to get off the road. Had gardens when we were, in the years prior, so we just kind of kept working with it. I'm a builder and not really a grower.
Okay.
So we can build it faster than we can figure out how to use it. So that's kind of our problem right now. But we've really been into the soils the last 4 or 5 years. So we got the same problems with everybody. We like to shut the weeds off is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get to the soil so that it just shuts them off. And you'll see in this greenhouse, we bedded it with 6 inches of compost that we make. We have a front end loader. We'll go to the pile later.
Okay.
And I think it's been hand weeded maybe twice, maybe.
Wow.
So you can see how it really shuts it off once you get the bio. And then the other thing is you'll see how they're kind of at the end of their stage now, but the plants are like a blue-green.
Yeah.
So when you get your nutrients and everything right, it's all about stem size and leaf size. So you can see like on these here, this is a healthier plant.
Just a comparison of those that he was talking about.
So you're looking for bigger leaves, bigger stems, fuzzier, everything, just vibrant. We do foliar sprays about every week or every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then we do drip on everything because we're on a well, so we're trying to conserve water as much as we can. But this is huge. This is year 1 in here. I think we put some.
Oh, wow. Year 1 in this particular
tunnel, yeah.
Nice.
So you'll see we took about almost a half an acre out of production. That we're putting in crop rotation now or cover cropping, but this one definitely was a huge success to the soil. We have another spot we can go to that is our no-till, which I don't like the word no-till because you're just not going below 4 inches.
Yeah.
And that has had its ups and downs. We have clay, really bad clay, so we didn't put gypsum down last year.
Okay.
Or last fall, and we paid for it this spring, and we're still fighting it right now. And then the gypsum helps flocculate the clay plates so that the moisture can get through it. And you'll notice if you step in this mud, how it doesn't really stick to your boot.
Yeah, I see that.
If it's sticking to your boots really bad, it tells you have high magnesium. But the magnesium is doing that, and you need in order to break that loose.
For not weeding this, all but twice, it's pretty weed free. I see you have bindweed. We struggle with bindweed.
Yeah.
How are you getting rid of the bindweed or managing it?
We're the same thing. We're trying to get the soil. You'll see the one we go into, we lost it from compaction or whatever, and we just kind of deal with it. That one was overrun. We even did some silage tarps with holes in it, and it still snuck up between the holes. It actually got so bad that it gave itself a disease, so maybe it'll be out of there next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see the dark color.
That looks gorgeous. Look at that. There's like a ton of tomatoes in here. There's a ton of peppers. How do you get this out to the hands of other people? Because you probably can't use all that.
Yeah, we're kind of known for tomatoes, and the reason you're seeing an abundance is we had planned our schedule to start in the spring, whenever everybody, before everybody else.
Yep.
And then August 1st, we were going to kind of be done.
Okay.
Because the other stuff comes in from the flathead and everything, and it lowers the prices down. We were originally going to open the farm store. We didn't get that opened in time this year. So right now we have people that are coming. The canners are coming. We're canning a lot of tomatoes.
So you have people who come and can them for you, or
no? They come and take them or buy them, or what we do right when we're in the latter part of the year, we kind of they pick 2/3 and leave us 1/3, which helps us on our labor.
So do you sell wholesale then, kind of?
Yes and no. Sometimes in those instances we sell to 2Js, so that's kind of a wholesale thing, and really wherever we can move it. The farm store is the key, though. We need to get that up and running.
That'll be nice for them to just come to your property and pick stuff out.
And we did never do the CSA because I wasn't a good enough grower, so I wasn't going to take money from people and then not deliver on it.
There.
So
we've
financially been able to do it the other way. We're getting better and better. Like these I wasn't expecting the bell peppers to go as good as they did. There's actually a row they ripped out.
Okay.
Because we're working our way that way for winter, but I thought they might have a failure. Now I got a pepper surplus, and
you do.
We have to figure out what we're going to do with it. So that's just the way it goes. You have excess, and I've learned that too. That you always you always plant extra. You
Mm-hmm.
always expect to throw some away because I've tried to keep it so narrow and tight
Mm-hmm.
that just doesn't work. So you have to accept that you're gonna take perfectly good vegetables and
Yep. Or some are gonna get like blossom end rot and you're
yeah,
not gonna use them, or they're gonna have other problems happen to
yep.
them. Yep.
And
There's one blossom end rot. Yep.
and we that was 1 week of missed calcium spray on the blossom end
Really?
rot set in. Yeah, the
Really?
tomatoes are doing pretty good.
Yeah, they look
They
good.
got the potassium issue with the green tops on them, but
What variety are you growing over there? Do you know?
we get our starts from High Country Growers in Illinois.
Oh, you do.
Just the
Okay.
tomatoes.
Just the tomatoes.
They start those in whenever they start them, December, January.
Mm-hmm.
And then we plant the other greenhouse where the fans are running. That one has propane in it, so we plant in that as early as I think March 15th. We turn that one on.
Really?
We try
Wow.
to miss that cold storm,
Yep.
that cold phase. Usually by the 15th is when it's gone. I might even bring that down. I think it's gonna be another cold year next year, so we might even go to the end of March.
Yep.
But we get those in the ground, and what we've also noticed is just because we get them in the ground, it doesn't matter. They still don't grow
Yeah.
as fast. If we would wait till the end of the month, the soil temperatures would come up. We'd
That'd
get the
help it
same
out.
results.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to probably adjust that this year.
And before we leave this tunnel real quick, Montana's windy, like so windy. So I see your sides open up. Is that an issue here ever for you so far?
Not yet.
Okay.
We've gotten some pretty big winds. I'm expecting the top to blow off at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You can see we got to tighten it back up again. But hands down, if you're putting a greenhouse, the roll up size is the absolute way to go.
Nice. You don't have a big fan or anything
Nope.
too, so it's just ventilation.
Nope, we didn't want, and we won't. That one is all controlled and does everything. This one's vents and roll up sides, so we consider this like our 3-season. It gets us what we get us, and the other one is completely controlled, but we also do our propagation in there too. So
cool.
The plans eventually are to put one next to this that is completely fully automated, but that would go into our starts, and then we would just grow in the back half maybe.
Yeah. You've really extended your season far beyond what we're doing right now. So
Yeah.
that's really interesting to me to just learn from that what can be possible. When are your frost dates over here? So we're about 2 hours away from where we currently live.
I don't even know what they are.
You don't know because you're in greenhouse. Yeah.
We're in the frost date now, so
Yep.
we should be getting frost anytime.
Okay, right
it's
around
pretty
middle of
close to the same.
September.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
in the spring.
I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
Let's roll down on my
We got
notes.
frost June 19th this year. Did you guys get that?
Yeah, our pumpkins got hit. We had them out.
Mm-hmm.
What day did you say?
June 19th.
Yeah, because we put everything. So our plan is to go everything outside. We don't put anything outside until June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
This house usually is a month earlier, so that we try to get in the unheated houses, the caterpillar tunnels. We try to go into those May 1st.
Okay.
And then April 1st would be the heated one.
Okay.
But we kind of fudged that a little bit. We'll actually probably do April 1st this time instead of March 15th. But that's kind of just the way we look at it to keep it easy. It's just each one gets you a month.
Cool. That's a good thought to have for sure.
This one should be, like you can see here, we'll eventually be getting spinach in here and some kale, all the winter stuff, green onions. We did have last year, we had cilantro, green onions, and lettuce in here. We have a big row cover. I think it's the 125 ounce, whatever it is. And that stuff actually made it through the winter and came back up again.
Isn't it crazy?
In the spring.
Yeah.
That was just completely crazy.
Yeah. When we have something like that happen, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
40 below, multiple nights.
Well, and we had the one in the caterpillar tunnel when we were learning it. I sent my daughter out to go get spinach for dinner, and she walked out there and it was all flat and wet, laying on the ground.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, our season's done, and I came back out a couple weeks later, and it had warmed up, and it was all standing up and totally edible. So
Plants can do a lot.
That was pretty wild.
What variety of cukes are you growing?
This is a Lebanese.
Lebanese?
And then there's Englishes in here somewhere.
Nice. Do you have, do these keep very long for you? Because keeping our cucumbers, like, between markets is a pain.
Yeah, most of our vegetables we can keep pretty long. The key for us, we have a walk-in cooler.
Yeah.
Is to keep them inside plastic or inside a container in the cooler. If you put anything in the cooler that's not in a container, it's gone. Okay. Or they'll lose moisture so fast. And our cooler is meant for meat. So what it does is it goes through this cycle of almost freezing, and then it defrosts. So it's not this continuous temperature that you think it is. It's constantly dipping, trying to recycle itself.
Mm-hmm.
And when it dips like that, you'll actually see on some things it'll get like a frost on it because it's trying to pull moisture, trying to pull heat out of things.
Mm.
And then once it does that, it'll kind of maintain its temperature. So you got to be careful of that. But we keep everything in harvest totes.
Yep.
And the lettuces we've had lettuces that will last a month and a half in people's fridges.
Wow.
We'll sell it to them, and they're like, I still have some from 2 weeks ago.
So are these both the Lebanese?
Yeah, these are both
These
Lebanese.
are both Lebanese.
We've tried to grow the pickling cucumbers outside.
Yeah.
And have failed every single year. So
is this the long English?
Yeah.
Nice. Do you know what variety it is for long English?
I do not.
Oh yeah. Not even seedy at all. That's great.
This is the size we want. These are too big.
Yeah, they still look good though.
Yeah.
That's good. I would just throw that in the ground.
There's plenty. Come pick yourself. It's the end of season.
So this must be your house where you do all your starts. Is this the one you're talking about?
Yep. Usually we have starts all the way, and then as we put the tomatoes in, we just back off.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see this year, you're so busy, you just kind of drop and go and clean it in the spring.
You do, yeah. We do that too.
And then you get out of the cycle. So in the spring, we're really, really good about watering and keeping them going. But the minute we flip that switch to go outside, we had, these are supposed to be fall cabbages, and they just got forgotten to get watered. So
oh, man.
One thing we absolutely love is this germination chamber.
Oh, that is awesome.
So it has a heating element that heats water.
Yeah.
And then it's a humid environment. There's a controller right here that we can control. This makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I bet it does.
We can pop a lot of seeds in 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, better than a bunch of heat maps.
Yeah. There was 2 rows of cherry tomatoes in here. They got ripped out.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are just here. We'll probably rip these up. So we had potatoes.
Yep.
On the outside wall there. So we ate fresh new potatoes May 31st.
Wow.
Which was really, really cool.
That's remarkable.
The problem is you can see the color difference. Is there's something we did something to the soil here. We gave it a disease, which potatoes are in the same family as tomatoes. Yeah. Which I wasn't thinking of.
Is it blight maybe?
Blight? Yeah, it's had it from the get-go, and you'll notice we don't have it right now, but the aphids will just absolutely attack sick plants.
Yeah.
And that's basically, technically, if it's being diseased and it's being attacked by insects, it's not fit for human consumption. So that gives you a really a level of where we need to get to on getting our nutrition up. Mm-hmm. But the rest of them, you can see as the color goes down here, this is a typical tomato.
Clear line.
That we would typically do. And then you can see this year, we've really, we've gotten it down. Sometimes you don't want to put nitrogen in a greenhouse. That could be that. There could be a spot over there that for some reason got extra nitrogen from because it's kind of the low spot. So maybe water and all the starts.
I see. Yeah. Went that direction. Yeah. Well, every year's something to learn about for sure. Were they pruned and as you trellis them?
Yeah, we sucker them and trellis them. We had a 100-foot row of zucchinis in the other one, but they got ripped out.
100-foot row of zucchinis, huh?
We do a single stem.
Okay.
And then we do 2 liters off of them.
All right, so a single stem with 2 liters.
Yep.
That's kind of what we did too a bunch this year.
So we reduced our root load. We got 4 rows in here. We had 6 rows in here. Mm-hmm. We backed down on rows and ended up with bigger and more tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
We spread the rows out thinking because it was having a hard time harvesting. But they grew so big and abundant we couldn't even walk down between the rows on them.
These are huge tomato plants. Yeah. Really, they're huge. At this point in the year, you're done trellising and pruning and all that.
You're pretty much done trellising about July.
Okay.
You just let them go at that point.
Gotcha.
But here's an example of the healthier, the big old.
Mm-hmm. Look at that.
The big old stalks on them. Next year we'll probably just, as soon as the other one comes on, we'll top these. Mm-hmm. Because this is the one that we expect succession, so we expect to burn all these out and then just abandon this one and then start harvesting in the next one. Mm-hmm. And then outside, but I don't think we're going to be able to really get really good tomato crops for the next few years outside with this cycle that we're going into.
Gotcha. The succession planning is something we're really not good at. We need to improve on that. Seems like you kind of have some plans though for how you run things.
I'll tell you right now, the key to all of it is to build a schedule and stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
We
Pay attention.
usually build our schedule in December.
Okay.
Some seed places, I think, like once they have to have their orders in by November.
Okay.
For the next year. We're unique because we have more land and it's not a problem, so we don't expect to reuse our beds.
Mm-hmm.
We expect to plant them once
You
a
can
year.
just put it somewhere else and move
Tarp
on.
them out and then maybe deal with it in the fall. You'll see that when we get out here. But yeah, same thing. This one's had multiple years of compost in it.
Yeah.
Or bedded with compost. This actually has floor heat in it below the soil, 2 feet down. We've never turned it on, but
that's a cool concept. I never even thought of doing that.
yeah, well, you got to be careful with the temperature of the roots.
Those good tomatoes, though?
Mm-hmm.
Nice acidic variety? Yeah, sure.
Well, the key to tomatoes.
Yeah, what have you found?
Is your watering pattern.
Yes, right? It matters so much.
Yep.
Those are nice, good tomatoes. Yum.
Yeah. And I don't like eating raw tomatoes.
You don't like eating raw tomatoes?
I'm getting better at it. So when we were building the farm, we knew we had to get going. You only have, I don't know what I was late 30s when I started. I said, I only have 30 years left of trying to learn how to grow tomatoes. So this didn't even have plastic on it. The metal bars were on it as far as we got, and we planted tomatoes in it. Mm-hmm. So we did the trellis and everything with no plastic on it.
Oh, really? Wow.
And it's just the one thing that it just worked. It just, I don't know why. It's just something we've, something that it just clicked for us, and it wasn't my passion. It just kind of this, I knew the least amount about tomatoes. Mm-hmm. So I started there first, just like on our pigs. I knew the least amount about pigs, so I started there. And
it's kind of a good method. Like the most you need to learn about, you need to just start.
And we're unique with our pork because everything I do on the feeder side, I can see the results in the butcher shop. Yeah. So that allowed me to see, I did this wrong, or add this, or do this. So I was able to dial them in and really dial the pork in. It doesn't taste like anything you get in the store.
Really? Yeah, I believe it.
This is the cat tunnel we completely lost. This one's actually been here the longest.
Okay.
There was actually one sitting here, but the wind put it in the hills.
Okay.
These are supposed to be able to move. I'm too old for that. So we just put cedar boards on them and we leave them permanent. The two up there actually have roll up sides on them. Okay. And they're running the wrong direction. They're running north-south because we're using them as wind blocks. So they don't build heat as well as these other two do. Yep. We have such bad winds. It was one of the ways that we could.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
You can see the thistle is literally from the edge.
Yeah, wow.
The bindweed here has given itself a disease of some sort, so hopefully that'll wipe out. There's basil down in there, but you just got to roll with it. And we weren't expecting to necessarily have peppers for market. I think there's 6 or 7 varieties in here. This is kind of like farm, friends and family peppers.
Gotcha, yep.
So if you come here, they're here, but we don't usually bring them to the market.
Yep. What kind of weed cloth is this, or weed mat?
These are silage tarps from the elevator when they do their big grain piles.
Oh, really?
So they just give them away.
Yeah.
We try to get them to cut them for us to a certain size, but when it's windy out, they just got to do their thing. But yeah. So yeah, we'll just keep working on the soil on this. But like I said, this one didn't get amended last fall, so Canadian thistle is a compaction issue. So if you see the roots, they make their turns wherever they run into compaction. Oh. So it goes down and it turns. You just go sideways, then it'll go again. And everywhere there's a twist or a turn, that's the depth that your compaction issue is, which it usually starts with your tillage, your road tillers and stuff like that. We don't like to till, but when you lose something with weeds, you got one option, and you just got to rip it out and start over. When it gets to like this point, that's what the choice is. There's tomatoes in here, so I see them. We're developing the system. We'll see down on the other one. This has got plastic mulch. Yep. Do you guys lay that with your tractor? Yeah, we got a layer. Nice. There's tomatoes out here, and then there's cellar in here. I don't think it's. Oh, I see that now. Yeah, it's not getting very big, but it wasn't getting a lot of water. Oh, that's the other thing too. The health of your plants, you can tell by their roots. They should be a light brown. These are white, so these aren't necessarily healthy. Oh, I see. Here, and then the hairs are really, really thin. Which I know those are stressed because of the lack of water. We didn't get the water set up on this stuff. Automated.
Is this all on drip underneath there?
Yeah, there's drip under each one of these. We tried the burning holes thing
Yes.
for the dill and cilantro, and it just, like I said, not getting our soil right and putting our amendments down, and it just overran us.
And there's a thick with that thistle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Terrible.
So since you have two of these reed barrier methods right next to each other, which one do you prefer? The one with the tractor or this one that you have to lay and burn?
Depends on what you do. We actually burn these ahead of time. This is more the market garden style, for the smaller farms, they say. It's very time consuming to do it, but when you get it right, it's really good. This other one, definitely doesn't work if you don't have a lot of land. And I'll show you down there, because what we've actually done is we've gone with the fabric and connected it with the Hopies.
Okay.
And we put our centers on, I think 12 feet. So everything in between the rows is left tilled to conserve water for the beds. So we sacrifice the entire field except for the bed. So the bed gets all of its amendments. It gets treated just like these do, and everything in between there. We will cover crop in between the rows, but the whole point is we're never going to plant in there.
Yep.
It's almost like a desert. If you look, you'll see cactuses, and there's 10 feet of sand between all the cactuses.
Yep.
Well, we just took all the cactuses and lined them up. And that one's on contour as well, so we stop the water from running.
Okay.
That was a huge success, hence the other tractors. So
yeah.
This one with the plastic and the plastic mulch machine is great as long as you can manage the inside rows.
The row in the middle.
And here you'll see it doesn't work. We're going to mow in between them was the thought, and like everything else, all good plans get foiled with lack of labor.
Yep. There's a lot to do.
You'll
it
see
all
these
comes on at once, right?
Yep. You'll see these beds here. This is another tunnel. This one wasn't bad for weeds, but it's still same thing. The celery in there, the Canadian thistles, jumping on it. This is one of the ones with the roll-up sides on it.
Gotcha.
And the wind kind of wrecked this one.
Oh, on that far side, back over there. I see.
And then these beds were about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. These were all topped with compost. And then we planted peas in there for a cover crop. So we'll just let these winter kill.
Okay.
And then we'll probably cover crop these again, or we'll take something else out of production and plant there next year. So this we try to keep no-till.
Yep.
There was a lady at MOA, I forgot her name, but she said, well, they were growing with beneficials under their apple trees. So what we did is we just left out a few rows to put the sprinklers in. So one, we didn't have to move them. Two, it gives a spot for the insects to go. Three, we've developed a system where our tarps are wide enough that we can manage them. And then we have row covers that are the same width. Actually, the row covers are the ones that determined it. And then we cut the silage tarps to meet that. And same thing. Between these two caterpillar tunnels has had doses of compost on it.
Yep.
And in the growing season, you can completely tell the weed pressure on here is way less than it is on the rest of the farm.
I see that even from right now. Like, how long ago did you?
We just moved the tarps off of these two here.
Oh, tarps came off.
Just last week.
Okay.
But so you'll see this one's had its one round of hoeing on it. So here's the carrots. You can see the distinguished rows. And then this one here needs to be hoed out. We got too much rain to deal with it. But
I see.
As long as we can get it to this, we're actually buying a basket weeder and a set of finger weeders on those other two tractors so that we can mechanically take care of all of this stuff instead of doing it by hand. So we'll have that online next year.
Do you have a guess about when these carrots will be ready to harvest?
It all depends on your watering. You can get carrots and beets, most root crops, you can stall them. So when they're done at the level you want them, you can pretty much just back the water off on them and they'll sit there until you finish them. It does change the flavor a little bit, but we need to get a row cover over this. That's probably what we should have done when we planted them, is put a row cover on it and leave it on there.
Oh, I see.
So we'll get this covered. I was waiting for the radishes to come up, but I don't know what happened to them. So we'll get a row cover on this definitely because this weather's coming cooler. And they'll probably be, with the row cover on there, what was it, September? They'll probably be ready by November.
For like weeding in a bed like this, do you use like a hoop hoe? Is that your preferred, or what do you prefer?
Yeah, we have a hoop hoe, and then we can go into the kids call this the bat cave. This is the same bows that you bend for the caterpillar tunnel. We just put it up in the air and put poles underneath it.
Yeah, well, it's a shelter.
So we use, I think this is the TerraTech. We use this for the carrots and the beets.
Ooh, okay.
And a lot of the other stuff. We have a 6-row seeder
Uh-huh.
that actually hooks on the back of the tractor. Yeah, the attachment's right here.
That's nice.
We always, these are organic. We always put alfalfa pellets down every time we amend.
Okay.
We always feed the microbes, and we're always concerned about them. So we get
Cool.
organic pellets and organic chicken fertilizer from Montana Grain here. And one thing we do that was pretty neat was we take the amendments and we just took a typical spreader,
Yep.
and we stop it from spreading. So this boards that are around it keeps it at 30 inches, so it drops straight down on the bed.
Nice.
So we only amend where we want it,
Mm-hmm.
which has its downs because you really want gypsum on the paths as well. But so we're gonna make one that we're gonna put that box that goes out to 6 feet. This is our smoker. We're in the process. We got to fire it back up again. But we do lamb meats in here, cured meats.
Yep.
And then we dry plants, and then we're actually doing a smoked salsa. So we're smoking the tomatoes and the peppers.
Gotcha.
And then we'll start. If they taste like smoked yet or not.
This is a cool idea. Smoke.
Oh yeah, that tastes like smoke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll make it salsa.
It does. It also tastes a little bit like the meat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
What is this?
These are corn cobs.
Yeah, but why are they in here? What are they?
We smoke with them.
Oh, with them.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
We start the fire, and then we put wood in there, and then we put those on top of there.
Okay.
Here's last year's, let's see, a poblano.
Mm-hmm.
And then you dry it down, and it's an ancho. Then you dry it down, it's a poblano. But when you smoke it, it's a chipotle.
Are you serious?
I think that's how it goes. Yeah.
No,
So it's got 3 different names.
Okay.
I think that's the way it is. Don't quote
Cool.
me.
This building is neat. Just this idea of making something like this a smokehouse.
Yeah, we love these grain bins. This is probably my favorite. We call it a can seeder.
Okay.
Because if you look inside of it, we don't have to worry about too many seeds.
Okay, the can seeder.
The can seeder. Mm-hmm. So we do our cover crops with that, and then our wheats, we do some wheats on. We got hulless barley and hulless oats down here on the bottom, so we do it on that thing. So we just got these other two and that other orange one that's in the shop. So this one, we'll see down there, all our row crops are on 2 rows. We stick with the market theme of the bed. Mm-hmm. So this underneath it has the 2 rows to take care of the row crops, and then the finger weeders on it. We got to push that tire out to put another finger weeder on it. I see. So one of these other ones, we'll get a set of basket weeders on it on 4 rows. Yep. And then the other one, because of the belly space and the timing, the other one will have strictly finger weeders to match this one. So we don't want to run the finger weeders when the carrots and stuff are really, really small. So we just decided to put on a separate tractor. These tractors aren't that expensive. So this is sweet corn on 2 rows. Sweet corn does not do good in Montana unless you have lots of water. Mm-hmm.
What kind did you grow this year?
This is the standard. This is the open pollinated. So you can save seed on this. This is our second or third year of saving seed on this.
Part of when we discovered you guys is you can see all your corn from the road. You know? And didn't it look pretty good back in June? Yeah,
it was. You'll see down there. We experimented with. That's why I said the farm is just a big experimental station.
Yep.
We did the plastic mulch and actually started corn on starts in the greenhouse.
Gotcha.
Trying to do the succession thing. Well, we just didn't get time to deal with it, and actually it sat in the greenhouse about a month longer than it should have. Okay. But we planted it out anyways to see what it would do.
Yeah. Was it stunted at that point?
Oh yeah, it's stunted, but it kind of was stressed really bad. But then eventually it popped up, and it took off again, which I wasn't expecting that.
Yep. Did you end up getting a harvest out of all the corn then? You said it.
Yeah, we've been picking on it and freezing some of it, and we've got people that'll come and pick it. It's totally fine. The cobs are just short, so you can't bring it to a farmer's market. We're just going to let it go, and then we started getting rain, so that really helped it out, which is unusual. Here's our compost.
Nice.
We have a big, huge 3-yard front end loader. It's not here right now, but we just bring in semi-loads of straw, grass.
Yep.
And then we have an end dump.
And you have a manure source right there.
Yeah. Well, we haul it in too by the semi-load.
Do you? Okay.
So all this is pretty much will be done here. It's not, the outside's not finished, but this will go on all these beds. Oh. We'll look at the manure spreader when we leave or head up that way. it's set up to just put compost on the 30-inch bed. So this is kind of a compilation of a whole bunch of stuff. It's the Hopi way because it's got all that the bare ground that you keep tilled, so that the crops can pull from the moistures. And these roots, if you dig them up, these pumpkin roots will be 10 feet away from those pumpkin.
Really? Okay.
The pumpkins and then the small grains. This is hulled barley. That's hulled oats. We've never put water on those. They have a drip underneath them, but we've never done them. And we started them from seed. We were meant to start them in the greenhouse with starts.
You've never watered them?
Nope.
Seriously?
Nope. I mean, look at the size of these pumpkins.
I can't believe that.
Yep. Just the rainwater and.
The ground is pretty moist right now. Just walking on it.
Yeah, we had 2 inches of rain, but that's a pumpkin with no irrigation. It just.
That's crazy.
Dry land with what we get, but then like we said before, you'll see the rows are kind of kittywampus.
Yep.
They're on contour, so you can't see it with the wheat right here. But there's actually a swale right here that catches the water coming down, and it's about a foot and a half high.
I see. Yeah.
So the water flows this way. We calculated the 2 swales run all the way around the corner, and I think there's a third swale. And I think I did the math on it. I think the puddle was about 5 feet wide, and then it was a triangle.
Yep.
I think we calculated about 60,000 gallons of water in one filling.
Really?
And that year it filled up 5 times.
Yep.
And we don't fill it up with the rain. It's all about the snow melt.
That is really
We just don't
cool.
get enough rain to fill up. It does hold stuff, but usually the ground is thawed out. It can just take care of it all. But
was that something you had in the works from the beginning, or did you just kind of?
No, we just kind of got on. I think it's the Jeff Lawton stuff. So we started experimenting with it. We kind of passed it, but we were doing barley up around the house.
Yep.
And it was just like 5 bushel barley. So we terraced all that, but I terraced it with our little Kubota and pulled all the topsoil off of it. So it's pointless right now.
Well, live and learn, I guess, right?
Yeah. So same thing we did up there. This is actually a beneficial insect row.
Yep.
And the theory was, if we want our plants to be healthy, why do they have to come from 100 yards over there when they can live right in here? So
Gotcha.
every third or fourth row, there's what we call beneficial. We spent about $500 on wildflower seed. Some of them did good. The end row down on that other one, for some reason, did really, really well. But we'll just let these go. And it's kind of a wind block, too. But that was pretty neat to see that. There was a lot of insects in here.
Yeah. Cool.
And then same thing. We just keep this tilled to keep the moisture. I think this is potatoes. They're all dead. We need to dig them out.
Yep.
This is peas, but the deer ate them all.
Now, did you water your potatoes?
Not until later on in the year, and that was to get the size up.
Gotcha.
We do have dryland potatoes up there. You can grow potatoes on dryland. You just have to put them 3 feet apart, and then keep all the soil around. That's the dryland Hopi way. I think it came from the Hopis. My goal, just to do it, is to do a whole 300-foot bed of weedless carrots with the equipment, and we would probably do it for fall and just put them all in the cooler to sell. But that's my goal, is to be able to do that and have a decent crop of small vegetables.
Yeah.
So that's what those other 2 tractors are for.
Huh, cool.
And this is we treat this kind of like our pantry, kind of.
Yep.
We can't get olive oil in Montana, so we put sunflower and flax in. We have a dehauler for the sunflowers.
Oh, really? And you essentially make your own oil?
No, just eat the sunflowers.
Oh, okay.
You could if you had a press. We actually
Okay.
do have a press, but I don't want to do that.
Do you need more projects?
No. So these are our green beans. I don't know. I had excess seed, so I put in, I guess there's 600 feet of green beans, and we'll end up, I think I put 7 or 8 varieties in here. My idea is I'll put them all in there, and God will figure out which ones are supposed to grow.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we'll just run these through the combine, pull the seed out of them.
I was going to say you could save them for, you could even save them for, like, pantry beans, maybe, depending on what they are.
Either one. But the combine, we're trying to make the header smaller on the combine to get in the rows.
All that equipment is pretty necessary at the scale that you're doing.
Yeah. I don't know if you can run dried corn through a wheat header, but we're going to try. Okay. Might have to use a pitchfork here and there to get through.
Yeah.
And then beneficial insects, sunflowers, and then the pinto beans on the other side. Okay. And flax is the other oil we can grow in Montana for eating. So we just have had combine issues. Otherwise, we would have had it taken off already. We actually sold our good combine and somebody gave us another combine. So we've been playing with it, trying to get it working. Oops, took the whole plant.
Oh, I hate it when that happens. Those are pretty good. You said those are pinto beans?
Yep.
Oh yeah, there they are.
So another storage crop.
Mm-hmm.
And this will probably be seed stock for.
Yeah, those pantry staples are really nice to have.
For more rows, yeah. This may be flax again next year because I think I might have lost it all. It's starting to fall off the head, so. This is a golden flax too. We'll pick all these, put them on a hay trailer, and
The
then
birds haven't got them yet.
and let them dry. Yeah, we don't have a
Bunch of birds out here trying to get in
blackbird
here.
problem like they do in the Midwest.
Some decent sunflower seeds in there though.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they sized up
On
there.
this one.
Oh yeah, there you go. I had a really cool video of the bees in here. I don't know what kind of bees they are, but they were the size of my thumb.
Uh-huh.
Like all of them were.
Yeah, those like native big bees.
Is that what they are?
I don't know if that's what they're called, but
They were huge.
they're pretty cool, huh?
While we were on this farm tour with Nick, he brought us over to a different property that had winter squash growing on it as well as cantaloupe, and that was pretty cool to see. I'm glad we could help out and pick a little bit at this other property where he is also farming and growing a lot of yummy food.
This is just like the highway field where they're on plastic mulch. They're 12 feet apart, and you
Yep.
can see where we keep them pretty weed free in between. So this definitely was a big hit here. So
Yeah. Nice.
we'll keep doing that. So I think there's 5 varieties in here. There's acorns, butternut, buttercup, delicatas. We had pretty good sized leaves, and then they stressed because of the water. So then the next growth was smaller. Then we started doing the topical again, and the leaf size got bigger. So you can really see how well it's growing by
Okay. Yeah, they look great. Is that a big one?
This is probably 2 years old compost. The last of it. Pretty dry in here, but
It looks beautiful still.
yeah, smell what it smells like. That's really it should smell like
Like dirt.
yeah
Yep.
soil.
Yeah, soil. It smells like soil.
But if you make compost, absolutely have got to put some sort of a woody tree material in there. You
Wood
cannot get fungi in your pile if you do not have wood chips.
Okay.
And then it will, as you're making your compost, it will tie up some of the nitrogen and everything, but you cannot get fungi in there if you do not put wood chips in.
Are those wood chips just from around here or something?
They're arborist chips from the power company.
Okay.
And you really want to use arborist chips because they have all of the young succulent nutrients in the plants, whereas like if you go to the log mill places, it's all dried down. It's really sappy. So this is the manure spreader. Unfortunately, I had to go to Iowa to get it because I couldn't find the size I needed anywhere close on auction. But I wanted the bigger tires, so it was up off the ground, and then eventually we'll build this into metal once we got to bring these in a little bit more. And the big problem with making compost is the stupid hay bale wraps. They just get in everything, and you just got to get them out. But and then we broke the chain on it, so we got to fix it. But we usually load this up, and then with compost, sometimes another thing we'll do is we didn't get it this year, but we'll put leaf mulch. We'll put leaf mulch over top of our potatoes when the crowns come out.
Oh yeah.
And bed those in. We haul just leaves for the city cleans up. We haul them out here with the semi and then put them in our compost and use them other places.
So this root cellar, is this for selling at all, or is this just like personal use?
Both. It's designed to hold 16, whatever they are, 3.5 by 3.5 by 3.5.
Yeah.
Boxes in here, and then this whole wall will be shelves for our personal stuff.
Nice. And you insulated the walls.
Nope, this is the insulated forms.
This is the forms.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So we did that. The problem is we let it sit in the sun.
Yeah.
So I was gonna glue on FRP on here, and I don't think I could do that now. So we'll probably just put cedar boards in here.
Okay, you got a vent pipe back there, I see, and one up here.
Yep. And then this one was, in theory, was for putting a fan on.
Okay.
And get in a controller, so when it was cold out, we could pump cold air in here.
Nice. Really cool. I like how too you can eventually wheel stuff in and out if you need to.
Yeah, it's
level.
The whole idea was to take the Dimco and be able to put pallets in here.
Okay, so then this room is the butcher shop, right?
Yep, butcher shop, and then when we're not butchering, we use it for vegetables.
Oh, the meat cooler and produce cooler. Nice.
and then we keep our seeds in here.
Oh, nice. Is this going to be like a farm storefront?
Yeah, as soon as we figure out how to set it up.
Yeah.
I don't know how to set the array up or how to access. I don't know what we're gonna do. We usually have meats in the freezer and everything that we grow, but I don't know. That's a logistical headache.
Okay.
So
It
we just
is.
got to pull the trigger and do it and learn.
Yeah.
And then I have one of the flags built already. We'll only be open 2 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely don't want to be open every day. I talked to a few people that do what we do in Minnesota, and they said they went from $500-600 farmers markets to $3,000-4,000 a week in sales
Just by having that at the house.
Yeah.
People like to come out too and see where it's grown.
Well, and we realized I was delivering to a doctor in town, and they would buy $30-40 worth of stuff. We just bring it, we deliver to them, and they came and they wanted to come out, so they came out, and we had bacons and everything, and they all left with. There was 3 different payers, and they all left with $300-400 worth of stuff. It was just crazy. I was like, wow, that's note to self. That was before I knew the whole opening the store thing. So we'll get there. I just it just really burns your drive when you just lose everything. The Canadian thistle is pretty much when I kind of just shut down.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
And I was like, well, we'll just harvest what we have and we'll go from there and we'll get better next year.
Every year you gotta learn, right?
Yeah.
You gotta improve and learn. But Nick, I really thank you for this farm tour. We've got a lot of ideas. It's been really inspirational, and thanks for your time. I know you have a million things out there that you need to be doing, because we all do at this time of year, but I really thank you.